Have you ever heard a strange noise in an empty hallway? A whisper in a silent room? Some places hold secrets so dark they refuse to be forgotten. Today, we're going to a school, a place of learning and laughter, but one corner of it has been shrouded in silence for over 2 decades. We're talking about the girls' bathroom on the 3rd floor, a place no one dares to enter after the sun goes down. For more than 20 years, this bathroom has been locked away, a relic of a time gone by. The official story is that the plumbing was faulty, too expensive to repair. But the students, they whisper a different tale. They talk of a tragedy, something so awful it stained the very tiles and mirrors, leaving an invisible scar that chills you to the bone. The rule is simple. After sunset, that door stays shut and you stay away. But rules, as we know, are sometimes broken. Recently, the old school began a much-needed renovation. New paint, new floors, a fresh start. A janitor, working late one evening, was tidying up the 3rd floor corridor. The hallway was empty, the only sound the gentle hum of the floor polisher. Suddenly, she heard it. A distinct sound cutting through the silence, the unmistakable rush of a faucet turning on. It was coming from behind the sealed door of the abandoned bathroom. Thinking some old pipe had finally burst, she unlocked the door, her flashlight beam cutting through decades of dust. The air inside was cold, heavy, and there it was. The sink at the far end had water pouring from it. As she walked over to turn it off, she glanced at the large, grimy mirror above the sinks. It was completely fogged over, as if someone had just taken a long, hot shower. That was impossible. The water was ice cold. As her eyes adjusted, her heart stopped. Scrawled in the condensation, as if by an invisible finger, were 3 words: "I'm still here." She fled, leaving the door wide open, the water still running, and a story that would spread through the school like wildfire. The janitor's story reignited the old legend, and one particularly curious student, let's call her Maya, decided to do some digging. She spent her afternoons in the school library's archive, a dusty room filled with forgotten yearbooks and brittle, yellowed newspapers. After days of searching, she found it. A small article in a local paper from 1983. The headline read, "Local Student Vanishes Without a Trace." The article detailed the mysterious disappearance of a girl named Clara. She was last seen by her friends heading to the girls' bathroom on the 3rd floor. She went in, but she never came out. The police searched for weeks. They combed the school, the grounds, the entire town. But Clara was gone. Her body was never found. The last place anyone ever saw her was inside that very bathroom. The mystery was too tempting to ignore. A group of students, armed with a camera for their school's YouTube channel, decided to test the legend. On a dark, rainy night, they snuck into the 3rd floor corridor. Their plan: to stand before the infamous bathroom and try to summon the spirit of Clara. With the camera rolling, they called out her name, their nervous laughter echoing in the empty hall. "Clara, are you here? Give us a sign." At first, nothing happened. Disappointed, they were about to pack up when one of them decided to review the footage. They huddled around the small screen. The video showed them calling out, but as they watched, a flicker appeared in the dark doorway behind them. They played it back in slow motion. For a single, terrifying frame, a pale figure was visible in the darkness of the bathroom, a shape that hadn't been there a second before. It was something none of them could explain, and none of them would ever forget. The strange occurrences didn't stop. A few days later, a beloved history teacher was washing her hands in the staff bathroom, 1 floor below the sealed one. As she looked up at her reflection, something felt off. Her movements in the mirror seemed delayed. She raised her right hand, and her reflection took a split second longer to do the same. She froze, staring intently. For a fleeting moment, her own face flickered and was replaced by another. It was the pale face of a young woman, in an old-fashioned school uniform, her hair soaked and stringy, her eyes dark and lifeless. The vision vanished as quickly as it appeared, leaving the teacher breathless, her heart pounding against her ribs, staring at her own terrified reflection. The school was on edge. Everyone was talking about the third-floor bathroom. To quell the rumors, the principal ordered security cameras to be installed in the corridor outside the door. Staff and students alike reported hearing things. The most common report was the sound of the last stall door slamming shut with a violent bang, even when the hallway was dead silent and there was no draft. The security footage was reviewed daily. Most of it was uneventful, just empty shots of the hallway. But one night, the motion sensor was triggered. The footage showed the corridor, empty as always. Then, for about 10 seconds, a faint, translucent female silhouette materialized in front of the mirror just inside the bathroom's open doorway. It stood motionless, as if staring at a reflection that wasn't there, before fading away into nothing. The renovations continued, despite the growing unease. A construction crew was tasked with checking the structural integrity of the bathroom walls. A bricklayer was tapping along the tiled wall inside when he heard it, a faint, muffled sound. He pressed his ear against the cold ceramic. It was a scream, desperate and weak, seeming to come from within the wall itself. Convinced it was a trick of the acoustics or his mind, he was about to dismiss it. But then he saw it. A dark, reddish-brown stain seeping through the grout between two tiles. Driven by a grim curiosity, he took a chisel and carefully pried one of the tiles loose. Behind it, scratched into the plaster in what looked horrifyingly like dried blood, was a message: "Don't leave me alone." The school administration was now in a state of panic. Late one evening, the school secretary was finishing up her work, alone in the main office. The building was silent, everyone else long gone. Suddenly, the phone on her desk rang, its shrill cry shattering the peace. She answered, expecting a wrong number. A soft, whispering voice, barely audible, came through the line. It was a girl's voice, and it said, "There's someone in the bathroom." The secretary asked who was calling, but the line went dead. Shaken, she reported the call. The school's IT department traced it. The result was impossible. The call had originated from inside the school, from the old, deactivated phone line that was installed decades ago, inside the locked third-floor bathroom. A week passed in a tense, fearful silence. Then, the unthinkable happened. It was a repeat of history, a nightmare recurring. Another student went missing, a quiet, bright girl from the 10th grade. The last time her friends saw her, she told them she was just going to the bathroom. Witnesses later came forward, their voices trembling. They said they saw something strange that afternoon, something they couldn't comprehend. They saw a woman with long, dark, soaking wet hair, wearing an old uniform, walking silently out of the third-floor bathroom and down the darkened end of the hallway before she simply vanished. The missing student was never seen again. The police were called in and the school was closed. The decision was made to dismantle the haunted bathroom once and for all, to tear it down brick by brick and end the story. As workers began the demolition, they made one final chilling discovery. They removed the large central mirror from the wall, the same mirror that had shown the teacher a ghostly face. On the back of the mirror, etched deep into the silvering as if scratched from the other side, was a series of numbers. The police checked the school records. The numbers perfectly matched the student registration number of the girl who had just disappeared. It was as if her identity had been claimed, absorbed by the very fabric of the room, just like Clara's all those years ago. The bathroom is gone now, but the mystery remains. A permanent stain on the school's history, a terrifying question that no one can explain. Some stories don't have a happy ending. Some mysteries are never meant to be solved. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the shadows. If you enjoyed this story and want to explore more unexplained mysteries with me, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Until next time, stay curious and maybe think twice before you look in a mirror in a dark, empty room.